Welcome everyone to our ICology relaunch party here
I'm so
live on.
jazzed. That intro.
It's good. It's pretty
It's so
good. You can do a lot of
good.
amazing things with iMovie, I learned over the
Yeah.
weekend. Thanks everybody for coming. My name is Chuck Ghost, the founder of ICology, joined here by Kristen Hancock and my partner, also now a part of ICology. So excited to be here to tell you about the future of it. But before maybe we get into the future, we said to the founder, this started just as a podcast about 5 years ago. We're going to the history a bit more later. But Kristen, any words before we get into our presentation today?
I'm so excited to be here. I am so excited for every one of you to be here. And I just can't wait to get started. I want everyone to be able to see it and just see what I don't even want to say what we've built. I want people to see what we have launched that they can help build.
Absolutely. And that's very much, this is all about member-driven, inclusivity, diversity, all the things we should all be striving for. So I see a comment, somebody missed the intro. It was a great intro, great
It really
music at the
was.
end. But let's go ahead and get started.
Awesome. So, first things first, as a moment of gratitude, thank you everyone who's tuning in to find out more. We've been excited leading up to this date. When we originally set the date of 2/22/21, it was a little bit scary, as all goals should be, but we needed a deadline to put a fire under our butts to really get things moving. So here we are. We are finally here. We did an internal launch with people who are already members, and now we're excited to launch this publicly with all of you. So thank you. Welcome to the party. We are so glad that you are here, and hope that we see more of you as we go forward. So for those of you who don't know me, I'm Kristen Hancock. I am a Canadian turned pseudo-American. Partway there, I guess, not quite a citizen yet, but I am living here legally with my partner, Chuck Ghost. I moved down here at the end of 2019. My background is in communications and different areas, healthcare, nonprofit, mostly up in Canada, and had my own consultant business for the year before I moved to the US, and then had to close up shop because I wasn't legally allowed to earn an income as immigration goes. So now I have a green card. Chuck and I spent a lot of time talking about what ICology might look like, and I'm excited to share it with you today. I don't know if you want to do a little brief intro for you, Chuck, if anyone doesn't know the famous Chuck Ghost.
Well, other than I'm an American who has lived with a Canadian during a pandemic and
True.
political turmoil. So yeah, it has been a challenge. And I do think there's something very symbolic about 222. We've been at this for a couple of years now, and we've shifted vision a little bit, but the entire time it's been about serving the internal comms community.
Yes. And the other theme I will say, and we're going to get into this a little bit more, was about how are we serving the community, and also how are we filling the gaps that we are experiencing as internal communicators in this community. So on that note, I'm going to let Chuck go a little bit through the history of ICology.
Yeah, I pulled out this old mug, which isn't even the old logo. It's like the old, newer
Amazing.
version of the old logo that I had. And yeah, when I started ICology back in 2015, it was about a platform, not for my voice, which seems ironic because it was a podcast that I hosted, but it was more around sharing stories of voices that I liked and I was hearing from. And I wanted more people to hear those voices. And these are people that are still in our community today. So it was a great thing to start back then. Anybody else that manages podcasts knows it is a labor of love. Highlighting on the word labor, it's a lot of work doing that. And as we shared in our launch video that we put out on social, I got distracted and life got in the way, and ICology fell to the back burner. And we always knew, though, it could be so much more. And it took Kristen's involvement for this to raise up to where it is today. So I will absolutely still be involved for ICology from a content standpoint and podcast production standpoint. But the day-to-day activity, the day-to-day business, that's Kristen's baby, and she's going to be the one running that.
Like anyone thought that Chuck was not going to be involved in some way. Like you weren't going to get your little sticky fingers on things, right? Exactly. We all know where that was going. So how it started, how it's going. This is, many of you have seen the video that we shared on social. It was a couple weeks ago, I guess, we were so excited to work with Rocky Walls and his team at 12 Stars Media and did this great promo video for ICology. And there are some more clips from that to come in the next few months. And this truly was a candid photo. It almost looks posed, and I assure you it was not. This was us goofing around on set of this
I
video.
do think if you look at this photo, you see who the humble one is.
But that's
in the
fine. I'll take that.
relationship.
That's not. It's not me. Look at the shoes. It's not me. So this is. We started talking about what might ICology look like and feel like, sound like. What might it be able to give back to the community? And we've shared with a few people already that our original business plan was looking at events, an events-based business. And this was even some of our very early conversations in 2018, 2019. Well, we all know how 2020 went, and we all know that an events-based business was not going to thrive in 2020. But I think it really forced us to look back at the basics and what is internal communications. And it's such a vibrant community. My background is communications in general, and a lot of what I did previously in my jobs was external. But the reason I love internal communications so much is because of that vibrant community and just the inclusive nature of it, the supportive nature of it. And so we wanted something that really was going to give back and something that we collectively could build together. We will, at some point, I'm sure, share some kind of fun video or blog post on all of the names that we rejected as we were going through this branding process with our friend Alan Oram at Alive with Ideas. Originally, we were not going to call it ICology. We were going to call it something new and something fresh. And after weeks and weeks of going through all these names, we're like, I think this is staring us in the face. We have to keep ICology. That's such a cool name. There's such a following behind it. And I'm glad we did. So of course the rebrand you see here with the cool colors. But I'm glad we ended up going back to that original plan.
But even looking back to the original plan of doing events, it was about serving the community because it was focused on underserved cities.
Yeah.
So going to cities that you don't see big events go to or event-based companies going to, but there's still a great population of communicators there. We were very privileged in that we got to travel to a lot of events. Now looking back, very privileged that we got to travel to a lot of events. Not everybody had that same opportunity. So the goal was to bring that expertise and knowledge, not from us, but from other leaders in the space to some of those underserved cities. We will be able to do that at one point, hopefully very soon. But until then, that mission is still very much the same.
Yep, exactly. Well said. So a little bit of a background on what we have launched now with ICology. I kept this a little bit safe for work for everyone in case you're at your desk at work today. If any of you are actually in the office anymore. We built ICology because we are internal communicators and we built it for internal communicators. And I think that's a big differentiator between a lot of other groups. Most of you know Chuck and I have been involved with lots of different associations, organizations, events, conferences in the internal comms world. And this was a gap that we felt was missing. It was, there was a bureaucracy that was there, and there were groups that didn't get it. They didn't get the internal comms world because it is a unique space. And so that's a big part of what we've started to build here. We have committed to our members already who are in there, and we'll commit to new members as they come. We are not playing the traditional sponsorship game. We are not asking for checks and slapping logos on things. That's not how we're playing. That model hasn't worked for a while, and I think 2020 exposed it. So our commitment to members and the community is that we are looking at really creative, true partnerships with our vendors because we know that they bring such value to our industry and we need them. We work with them. We love them. But we want really unique ways for them to be a part of it. So we'll talk about some of those things as we go forward. But one of the things we've guaranteed people is we will never sell our membership list. So this is not a situation where being a part of ICology means you're going to get weekly emails from vendors that you're not interested in. So it really is going to be about value added for the members, but also value added for vendors as well and what they want to see out of this. It is a subscription-based community. So you will see that there's a monthly price for that or a yearly price. There's a bit of a savings and we'll go through that after as well. It is affordable. So the two sides of that is that we saw a gap for a lot of other associations and organizations that wasn't affordable for everyone. It wasn't accessible. We don't all have hundreds of dollars at one time to put forward for a membership. So we wanted to offer something that was a monthly rate that was easily accessible by a lot of people, and looking at student rates and ways to make this affordable and accessible for people. The other flip side to that is, why isn't it free? Because we want there to be value there. We want internal communicators to put value on your own careers and your own professional growth. We also are showing value to our speakers and our course leaders. So you'll see, we're going to talk a little bit about some of the offerings that we've got and some of the value there. We've committed to paying people who are giving their time and expertise to teach us, to lead courses, to host webinars, to write posts, whatever that might be. We've committed to paying those people because we know that old model isn't working anymore, where we're constantly asking people to donate their time and expertise for free. Chuck and I have both done it a lot. I know all of you in the industry have probably done it or been asked to do it. And there's nothing wrong with it, but it's getting outdated. And we want there to be value for people. We want to show people that your time is valuable. And so we've committed to compensating people who are going to give that time and expertise.
Yeah, I think when there's an entire industry and companies built off of profiting from people giving up their free time, that's changing the script.
Yeah.
There's certainly nothing wrong with someone volunteering their time. We have all done that. But there shouldn't be this expectation of free.
Yeah.
Of your time, of your ideas. And that's what we want to reward communicators. Whether you're 20 years in, 2 years in, 2 months in, if you have ideas, if you want to teach, if you want to lead, ICology is the place for you.
Yeah. And to that point, the last point on the screen, that this is actually member driven. I think probably every association in every industry around the world will claim to be member driven because that's the ideal goal for an association type of organization. But this really is. And you'll see once you're in that platform that we've asked people, what do you want to see for this? Who do you want to see on the podcast? What do you want to learn in a lab? And we'll make that happen. The fun part for Chuck and I is that when people have asked, well, can we do this? Or what about this? We're like, sure, we can do whatever the heck we want. So, because this is our playground. So the answer is yes. And if it works, great, let's grow it. And if it doesn't work, cool, we tried it. Let's do something different. So there isn't that layer of bureaucracy for us to try different things, which has been really fun so far. And I know will continue to be super fun. So this is a little bit of a sample of what the platform looks like. This is just a screenshot of it from the other day, but we've got different areas of it. There's the discovery page. We've got some initial articles about what's important to us and why we started this platform. Members area, you can follow different topics. So when people post things and they tag, whether it's COVID-19 or it's work from home or whatever that topic might be, we've got event spaces for ICology events, but also industry events. We've encouraged people to reach out and let us know or post on the platform themselves. If you have a great industry event, let us know about it. It doesn't matter to me who's hosting it or whatever. As long as it's going to be valuable for internal communicators, then we'd love to put it in there as a go-to spot so people know exactly where to find that information.
I think an opportunity here is to silence the noise. That there's information sitting in LinkedIn where some of you are today, or Twitter where you're watching it today, and all these different things are happening. And I know that I'm missing stuff, and I'm pretty eyes wide open out there looking for content. I'm missing things that I want to be a part of, or I hear about late. We want this platform to be the go-to spot so that you don't feel like you've missed out on any great content out there.
Yeah, absolutely. The industries tab that you see on the left there is a great spot. When you sign up as a member in your profile, it asks what industry you're a part of. And then that is an opportunity for you to connect with other internal communicators within your industry. So some of the ideas people have thrown out are, can we have a weekly chat or a monthly chat for people in our industry? Absolutely, you can. And we can use the platform to do that. So those are some of the cool things that we're hoping to keep at, whether it's and grow it weekly, monthly, whatever that is. We've even talked about, can we do a 15-minute Wednesday morning regroup meditation, holistic, like let's just keep your week on track chat for people? Of course we can. That's a really cool idea. So it's giving us opportunities to do a lot of really neat things like that. I think I've got another example of with different featured articles. You're going to see a feed like you would in other places. It's curated based on what you're following, who you're following, people in your network, events that you're going to, all those kinds of cool things. You will see so here's an example of the event space. So we've got events listed at the top. You'll see we had a members only launch party earlier today. And then also other industry events that are some of them are hosted by vendors, some of them are agency based, whoever that is, as long as it relates to internal comms, we are happy to put it up there. So what is in store? I think this is the most exciting part. The ICology has been a thing, an online existence for a few weeks now, because we wanted to make sure the features were working. We could test it out, see what it was like, and we've done that. So now comes the fun part where we get to fill the space and build it with you. And so I'll let Chuck take this one. I think probably the thing people are most excited about is the relaunch of the ICology podcast.
Yeah, thanks, Kristen. Yeah, I'm disappointed that the ICology podcast fell off my plate a few years back, trying to kickstart it every now and then, but it's now back on, and it's going to be exclusive to the ICology member network. We might let a few episodes slip out to the general public, letting people know what they're missing out by not being members, but the podcast episodes are going to be exclusive to the network, to the community. So we'll be looking for hot topics, controversial topics, great speakers out there that we can all learn from. So I'm excited to bring that back. That's what got me into the podcast game. And it's good to bring that back home again.
Controversial. That's so unlike you.
Yeah, I know.
The other space that I'm really excited about, and I think this is going to be a huge value for ICology members, is the lab. We're calling the ICology Lab. And this is a space where you can take courses. And some of those courses might be an hour-long course that we're offering for free. Some of them might be a 5 or 6 week course that is a paid course because it's being offered by an expert in their field. We've talked about topics like finance for internal communicators or IT for internal communicators, everything you ever wanted to ask about SharePoint, but were afraid to ask, things like that would be valuable for internal communicators. Chuck and I attend, well, not in the last year, I guess, but we attend so many conferences and we've learned so much from different speakers. One of the gaps that we often find at these conferences is that it's internal communicators talking to internal communicators. That's great, but we want to see experts in other fields teach us about topics that will make us better business leaders and better communicators around the table with our C-suite leaders and executives. And that's some of that gap that we want to fill. So we've had conversations about, okay, can we get this expert to come in and over the course of, say, 4 or 5 weeks, help you build your internal comms strategy. So when you're finished this course, you've got a piece of paper with your strategy on it. There's huge value in that, I think. So that lab is going to be a really great space. Again, some of the labs might be vendor sponsored and then maybe they're exclusive and free for ICology members. Some of them might be a paid lab. There's going to be a mixture of a little bit of everything, but definitely things that people will learn from and see value in. Absolutely. Vendor partnerships. So I mentioned some of the lab pieces of that. One of the cool concepts that came out the other day, we've got a wellness space on the platform in the community, and someone suggested an internal comms book club. And we're like, that's an awesome idea. So there might be a vendor partnership there. Maybe they help us run that book club or get the books out to people. So there's all kinds of creative things that we're looking at doing that are very much member driven that we've heard from people so far. Job searches and career planning is another space that we've got plans for and some things in the works. So there might be an ICology lab about career planning, whether it's growing up or expanding into other areas. And then the job search page too, there's a piece of the Mighty Networks is the company we're using to build this to build this community. There's a piece to the software that they're building this year that will allow us to do a really cool job board. So as soon as that comes, we're really antsy to get on that part because I know that'll be a great feature for communicators, especially in this climate as well. And of course, the most important thing on the page, FUN, fun. So again, because this is Chuck and I doing this, and there's no other layers of bureaucracy other than me yelling down the stairs of whether it's cool that we do something or, hey, I put this on there already. I hope you're not mad. So other than that, if there's ideas, let's try it out. We're always telling communicators to be creative in their jobs. So let's put our money where our mouths are and actually show that on this platform. And I'm excited to do some of that stuff too.
Yeah, we certainly do like to have fun in the profession. We take the work we do very seriously, but we do not take ourselves too seriously.
At
So
all. Yes.
right. It's a chance for us to experiment and try new things. Get to Kristen's point, we have no overhead, we have no bureaucracy, we have no, well, that's how we've always done it approaches. We're building how we do it, and we want to keep changing how we do it.
Absolutely. So this is what a subscription looks like. We have a founding members rate right now that is locked in through the end of the month. So up until the end of the day on February 28th, before March 1st, this is the rate that you'll see. So there's a monthly rate of $9.99 US per month. There's an annual rate that is a little bit of a cost savings if you want to sign up on an annual basis. This rate is half price of what the regular rate will be starting on March 1st, but this rate is locked in for you. So if you're a member for the next 10 years, this rate is not changing. So it's a really cool time to be part of this, to sign up at the beginning, and just be part of the fun and the action and help us build something really cool. So that's what that looks like. The website to join is scrolling across the bottom on this really cool, like CNN style ticker that I love. Members.joinicology.com is where you'll find that. You'll also find some more information about what's on the platform and what's available in the community, those kinds of cool things. The other really cool thing that we're announcing today is our partnership with A Leader Like Me to support their conference, Diversity in Action. If you have not checked out A Leader Like Me, it's this amazing initiative by two of our friends and colleagues, Priya Bates and Advita Patel. They've created this amazing group of communicators, and we're excited to support it. So they have a conference called Diversity in Action. It's on March 23rd. We have purchased a registration to that conference, and we are giving that registration away for anyone who is part of the ICology community before March 1st. And then when you go into the community, you'll see a post that talks about this conference, and we're asking members to comment on what your commitment to diversity in action is and what that looks like. And then we're going to draw someone at random on March 1st and announce that winner. So this is a really cool opportunity as a fun giveaway, but also just a really cool opportunity to support something really worthwhile within our community.
Yeah, I think it really speaks to the type of partnerships that we want to create in the internal comm space, where we are promoting each other, we are supporting each other. We're not putting up walls around these activities, and we want to be creative in these partnerships. So if you have ideas, again, sign up, become a part of ICology, and let's talk about ways we can continue to grow the profession. We have had some comments come in here that I want to pull in. Our friend Ali Bunin says we're looking like movie stars. So
all right, sure.
Take that.
I'll take that.
Let's see.
Ali's check is in the mail.
Our friend Russell.
Like you're surviving a pandemic. Well, we showered
this
today.
Is one of my, this is one of my Vegas jackets, Russell. And we were texting over the weekend about Vegas, and you can't pull it out all the time, but we figure for today, let's pull out the Vegas garb.
Should I also, so Chuck has a Vegas jacket. I've got Vegas shoes. Maybe that's the important part for everybody else on the call.
It evens out. Yep, absolutely. We're going to see you guys launch this. Well done.
Thank you.
Yep, he's already part of the platform. Let's see who we got here. Oh, yep, add another comment. Refreshing on what our field needs right now. Thank you for that. We agree. We think there's much more to be done with this internal comm space to bring everybody together and create more opportunities for everyone. We did give a shout out to Rocky Walls and his team at 12 Stars for helping us shoot that video. That was such a small dose of reality for us in the best way possible. Yes, we were masked up when we were behind the scenes, but when we got on camera, we took the masks off, we were able to interact, shoot a video. It was this taste of real life. So that was certainly nice. And he just really wanted us to read his comment on air. So Rocky, I tried to give you a little bit of an intro there, but yes, we wanted to throw that out. Russell, no, this is not a Duran Duran shirt, but our friend Meg Mara called it out. Yes, it is a 317 under the jacket. So,
and I want everyone to know I'm repping 204 on my necklace. That's my old area code. I doubt there's anyone from Manitoba on, but you never know.
We have a great question here coming in. Is it useful for someone based in the UK? 100%. Absolutely. Yes, we are based in North America. I think there's more of a void in the gap for this for our North American colleagues, but absolutely, there's a role for people all over the world. We have members right now in the UK, we have Australia
Mhm.
members in there. So we're all learning from each other. So it's a fantastic question. Absolutely, we want everybody to be there. I would love to be able to go back to the UK and do an event. London is one of my favorite cities on the planet.
It's
So
true. He talks about it all the
absolutely,
time.
we want members from all over the world. We hope it's useful for someone based in the UK. That is the plan. So please join, become a part of this.
Do you have that quote that we've been talking about all week up
I do, absolutely.
to read?
Well, I did, and then my screen just refreshed.
Oh,
Let me find this. It was a great quote from former President Barack Obama, and yeah,
the theme of it really was what struck a chord, I guess, with us was just that we're launching something that we know is needed. And a couple of the comments that Chuck has shared on the screen so far echo the comments we have heard from people privately as well so far, just saying this is needed and we needed this refresh. We needed a space, and it just was sort of like internal comms we never felt like we fit anywhere. So that's the goal of this, is to create something where everyone belongs.
so I did find the quote.
Okay.
Quote, change will not come if we wait for some other person or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. So it very much epitomizes the work that Chris and I have put into ICology. We grew a bit tired of waiting for something to change or waiting for the next time that will change. Let's change it now. Let's be a big part of that change.
Awesome.
So let's see, we've got some other comments. I'm always
David,
open
can
to more
okay.
80s music to be a part of this. So yes, absolutely. Here's our friend Benjamin Ellis.
Yes.
UK on the radar.
Yeah.
Benjamin was one of the last people we got to see at an internal comms event in Atlanta.
That's true.
That Jason Antoine was at.
And to speak to that international, I know that Canada and the US are obviously closer, I guess, than the UK is. However, one of my frustrations as a Canadian attending a lot of conferences is I found the conversations and the topics were very US centric and US based, which is fine if that's your audience, but we want to have an audience that's much broader than that. So I think because of my frustrations as a Canadian in these US events, I'm now more in tune with like, okay, but what about in the UK and what about in Australia? And, what about different areas of the world? Is that the same? So yes, it's on the radar and will continue to be on the radar. And also we want members who are from the UK to then bring things into the platform that are helpful.
Absolutely. We've got a comment here from Preston.
Oh, hey, Preston.
Before to try some new things. Thank you for joining along.
It's probably a lot nicer where he is than we are.
Our friend Chris Bias. You know what, Chris? I miss buying all your drinks in Las Vegas. So yes, we would love to get back to Vegas, and as usual, me buying all of your drinks somehow.
Oh, that's great.
Stephanie, thanks for joining. Looking forward to learning more. Go to members.joinicology.com. If you have any other questions, please reach out to us. Kyla wants to know, she's now starting a hair appreciation club.
Stop.
Kyla, I thought we might be late for all of our events today because of the work that went in to that, but
he's ruining my secrets, but that's factual. So
let's see here. We've got our friend Sarah Jackson, aka SJ, out of Cincinnati.
That's a great resource too.
She's got good resources.
They just launched a new season of that IC Pro podcast, and she's got all kinds of cool content on there as well. So yeah.
Yep, my colleague Matt Cronin out of Denver. Recommend someone who isn't on an internal comms team but works with comm teams. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Because this is an opportunity to continue learning, advancing skills, because maybe one day they will be on an internal comms team. People don't see the vision sometimes with internal comms and all the magic that happens there.
And I would also say there may be a really great avenue for you to teach us something too. Like just, some of that partnership for people who work with internal comms teams, like we talked about with those labs, where I'd love to find someone who would be a fun, engaging, and interesting speaker who could do, finance for internal comms. I don't need to know the nitty-gritty basics. I'm not a CPA and I don't have any desire to be, but I want to be able to have those conversations with my CFO. So, those partnerships would be really helpful.
Yep, and see, we've got all the way from Lithuania. Thank you for joining.
Oh, I love
We
it.
want you to be a part of this. I think we
Yes.
last touched base at Eurocon maybe a few years back in Copenhagen, back when we could travel. So thanks for being a part of this.
Welcome.
Kyla says all the work was worth it, and then friend Chris Wagner, Banana Tag, wants to see if he can join Kyla on that club. And then let's see here. We've Russell. Russell, sorry to hear you're no longer in internal comms. You left the Cool Kids Club, but plan to join simply for the banter. We'll take it.
Yep, that's worth it.
We would love to have your involvement in here. And then we've got mystery guest. Inspiring way to start the week. Glad to see.
Ooh, that sounds like some Hoosier love
on here. So
some
absolutely
indie love.
So we are at time. We want to thank everybody for joining this live feed today. We put a lot of work into this, but it's been a lot of fun work. We have built this not for us, but for the internal comms community.
Yep.
We have put thought, effort, and creativity into it, but we've only got it this far. It's going to take your involvement to push it all the places it can go. I only got it to a podcast level with Kristen involved. Now we've joined, made it a community, and now with member involvement and other comms practitioners, we can make it that go-to resource for the internal comms world.
Awesome. We're going to see all of you on the platform and also all over the social media everywhere, because that's where we live now. So members.joinicology.com is where you want to go to check things out. And of course, reach out to Chuck or myself anytime. If you have questions or comments or ideas, we'd love to hear them. Be safe. Enjoy your week. Thank you, everyone, for coming.
One last, so Dan joined late.
Hi, Dan.
Sorry, Dan. Thanks, everybody. Goodbye.
Thanks, everyone.